Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be getting back in on the Charger. For you guys that haven't really followed along or seen any of the videos, this is what the car looked like when I picked it up. Definitely a decent scrap heap, but it was a 1970 Charger 500 in Alpine white, so we decided to buy them anyway. But obviously this is what we're at right now. This car's had a lot of work, from new quarters to new frame rails to new trunk floor, new drip pans, all that stuff on the rear end. Pretty much from the section back is brand new past the seat pan. But what we're going to be rolling in on this video is we're going to be getting rid of some more rust, mostly just some scale rust, but hope you guys stay tuned, hope you guys enjoy the content, and thanks for tuning in. Let's get back at it. Hey guys, welcome back. So a bit of a weird angle we're kind of laying down in a second, but just going to show you guys what we're going to top into. So one section of this car that I didn't have dusted sandblasted was the roof. I didn't want it to warp, stretch, or anything like that. I didn't want to get beat up too much. So what we're going to do is go on and get through this roof. We're going to use some sandpaper, some Scotch-Brite, whatever we got to use. Blow out the little crevices, crooks, areas like that, and then we're going to get some Pour 15. Or we're going to epoxy prime it. I'm not 100% sure at the moment, but that's what we're going to be rolling through on this weekend. As a lot of you guys have seen in the videos, I only work on this one day of the week, on the weekends, so progress is slow going, but it definitely feels good to get it done. But let's get at it. We're going to throw you guys in on a fast forward because there ain't too much really to talk about on this. We're going to grab some 80 grit if we have it and really rough all this up. If there's anything left in that I need to take out, like some little screw mounts or anything, we're going to definitely take them out before we get the Pour 15, because that Pour 15, once you get it in something, is very hard to get out, to include your hair or on your skin. So by the time we're done with this, we're probably going to be looking a little bit like a Dalmatian. So let's get back in on it and let's see what else we might have to tear off on the car and get this roof looking nice and black and shiny. So stay tuned guys, let's get to work. Hi guys, welcome back. I say that way too much. We got the entire roof of the car, Pour 15. I don't know what it was from the stuff I had that I bought off. I purchased some stuff off Amazon. It seemed a little thicker. I'm not sure why, but the stuff I just purchased off a parts store that I go to actually seemed a little thinner and more flat. So we have just, a couple runs in a few places, peppered the entire bottom of the floor. Big thing with that Pour 15 is don't get it on anything. One thing we also did though, we were bored waiting for the pour, so we tackled some frame rail issues where I had all the holes, and I just kind of honestly spot welded it to the floor a little bit, a few places. So we did both frame rails, had some fun down there, filled in all the holes. Real hard to get in underneath this car right now, so I didn't really bring you guys along, but it's just the holes from the set screw, or from the sheet metal screws that held it to the floor when I first welded it in. I filled in all of those. And I got bored, so I set to making the door handles work. So I dug through all the parts and random doors I have for Chargers. I think I got like 6 or 8 doors when I purchased the 2 cars. But they open and close The one thing I am missing would be the lock rod. I can't find any of them, but I have doors fully working on either side. I even have the inside of the door works as well. Just got a lot of fun going. One other thing we did do is we ordered 2 new hubs. One of them was wrong. We got this one, which it said 67 Coronet. This one also said 67 Coronet. So I guess there's 2 different styles going around in that year for, you know, what you're getting. But these 2 are the exact same. Per se part number and everything. You can definitely tell which one was mine from the original. So what we're gonna do is press in some studs. Then we're gonna get the races and the bearings, the races in, and then we're gonna get the bearings packed. We're gonna bring you guys along for a bit of a fast forward on that. Press for my studs. I used the press to take the studs out. I had left hand thread on one of them and the other hand right hand thread, so I know we should be fine, but we're gonna go right hand thread for everything. But painted them up. Let's clean them up just a little bit more and then let's get them installed. I want to get this car on the ground by today, so let's get these hubs, bearings, races, all that installed. We're not going to be putting the brakes in the car, but we're going to be putting the wheels, tires, and drums on it. So let's get back at it and let's get to work. All right guys, we're back. So we ran into a bit of an issue with the hub when we talked about last, putting the car together, putting it on the ground. Now, original hub lug studs for a Charger, I ordered 20 of them, so I had enough for the rear and the front. Turns out the hub I bought off eBay from a pretty respectable Mopar guy was wallered out. So these hubs that I have now, the diameter here of the press, or whatever it's called on the crush, where it slides in, that's actually like a 6.8, or either 6.8 or 0.68. It's quite large. The ones that are stock are like a 0.56 or a 5.6. I'm not 100% on the numbers, but these are quite large, and it threw us off for another weekend of work, so we had to go buy more. Now luckily my Napa Auto Parts local store in town had what we needed, and a guy who knew exactly what he was looking for, because I actually did go to a couple other places and they ordered some and they just didn't fit. They were the same as what I ordered, so a lot of people just ordering what the damn system shows them, even though I told them it's wallered out, we need a bigger diameter. So what we're going to do is just press these in, make a go about that, and then we're going to come back and kind of go through on getting the rest of the car ready. But I don't know if you guys can notice, but I do have a bit of a sniffle. It is winter where I live, so it is extremely cold. So what we're going to do is just get these pressed in, and all I'm using is a press that I got offline. I think I paid 50 bucks for it. Some older guy was closing up shop, bought his press. It's not the biggest, not the sturdiest. I think it's a Harbor Freight make, but it does exactly what I need it to do, which is work. And this is a lot easier than, per se, putting a bolt and some lugs and trying to suck it on. Big thing when pressing these on, guys, make sure you got something on the bottom of the casting that the lug stud can go into, so you're not breaking anything. And another thing, when I purchased off eBay, he has his little priority warning of this is a 50-year-old part, but I mean, it had a very significant crack in it, and you think he would have seen it when selling it, but I shouldn't have trusted because he only had one photo. So I definitely feel like he knew what he was selling. He just didn't care. Wanted his 80 or so bucks for this thing. And when you really look at it, when you got them out, you could obviously tell they were wallered out and that they were bigger than stock, even just looking at them. The metal was pressed right around. So I guess one of those warnings, be cautious of what you buy on eBay. And from what I see, There's only one person who remakes these hubs, and it's going to be Speedway, and they're quite expensive, about 150, I think, a pop. So 300 bucks for the pair, and at 300 bucks for these hubs, you could just get discs for, I think, 500 or 600. So I highly recommend just go to discs. I wish I would have, but I didn't. So let's cut you guys back out. We're going to drive some races in, and then we're going to grease some bearings. I'm not going to show you guys a lot of that because it's the same stuff. Put it on your hand, swipe it in, move the bearing, do some more till it starts to come out. I don't really want to show all that, but we'll show you at least one side of the car. We're going to put it on just because it's been a while even for me, but there we go. We finally have both hubs for our Charger. The only thing I'm really seeing as a difference is the new ones I have a lot more stick up here on the actual composite metal. So I don't know if that's going to really affect us. If anything, might suck, but let's get used to it. And I ordered 50-year-old stuff when I should have ordered new. Now I'm almost double into the front end. Probably 800 bucks, and I could have just got discs for a lot less. So take it for what it is. Spend the money when you have it. Go upgraded new stuff. The old stuff works. Probably is better in the long run, but I mean, discs were offered back then. I should have just went with it. So we'll catch you guys back when we're getting ready to put all this together. Hi guys, we got everything packed in. We've already smeared a little bit of grease on there. We have our rear seal on, our inner, I guess as you call them. Now there is no outer on these. Well, it's a hub, so there is none. Just drive it on. We've already pre-packed all this. Just didn't want to waste a bunch of your guys' time on that. Pretty simple stuff. Throw this bearing in here. Now we're going to thread on. Now if you guys remember, this is the one that was in the dirt for years, so it's just a bit of a pain threading this on. Haven't had anything on it in years, if I had to guess. What we're going to do is go tight. I just want to see the placement. Okay. Let's see. Put your cotter pin in. Bend them up. Now, one thing I actually have wrong is I ordered the wrong dust cap. I don't know. There's a difference between the 9-inch and the 10-inch, but I got a little one. It barely covers just kind of the washer, so I'm gonna have to figure something out for leaving these open. Probably just throw something over them, I don't know, like a bag from all the stuff we've gotten already. Big thing with this is making sure you're packing your bearings. I cheated, I used a bearing packer just because I did it by hand, didn't want to do it again. Real messy. Now, the one thing I was talking about from this one to the other one is this one has a lot of extension right here, even compared to the other one. The other one doesn't have any of this sticking out. It's just all threads. So we're going to have to see what that problem is going to cause us and what's going to need to be done when that arises. But other than that, we look good. We look really good in here. So finally got these on. Took a long time to do it. But let's go grab some tires or something, see what they look like on the car. Now remember, this whole front suspension is just finger tight. None of it's actually set, so it's one thing to be on about. But let's jump in, find something else to do, and have you guys tag along. Alright guys, we found our next project. We ordered a bunch of pieces from eBay, along with the hub, so hope they fit. One thing I am noticing is this is obviously a 68 support because it has this lever right here. Now the supports, from what I can tell, are the same. It's just the pieces on the hood, so the hood latch and stuff itself. But we've already thread chased a lot of these, so we're going to install this latch section down here on the bottom. Now I'll be the first to say this car isn't me buying bolt kits or anything. It's just a bolts bin with some grade 8 bolts, washers, and lock washers. I'm not going 100% OEM, I guess, on all the hardware, as I guess some people probably would on cars like these. I don't want to, so we're not. Another section we have. One big thing also is the stuff I did order. I did try to stick to 69 charger even though this is a 70, because they do not replicate 70 chargers, at least the time of me ordering parts 8 years ago. Not to say they didn't, they did, but I didn't want fiberglass. So I did not purchase fiberglass 70 fenders and etc. Okay. Let's figure this out real quick. Don't need that anymore. Oh, we got talk about one complicated and doesn't need to be complicated section of the car. These little extra things. Set these off to the side quick. All right, let's grab a flashlight so I can see what we're doing. But other than that, I think it is latched, just not properly. Whew. These hinges are starting to kick my butt. So our latch mechanism is going to be too high. Obviously we got a bit of an issue because we're pretty high, about an inch. So we're gonna have to figure it out. One thing I do know is this headlight support, it is bent, it is old. So I think I'm gonna play around with it a little bit. I'm not gonna bring you guys along for that just because I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but if anything, it'll be a fast forward. But I'm gonna try to figure this out. From what I can tell, it does need to come down quite a bit. So we're gonna have to figure that out, and it's just that center bar where it mounts. We're gonna have to find a way to really suck that down. So I'm gonna work on that, and hopefully you guys stay tuned, and we'll come back and get some progress. All right guys, we're back. It was pressed on with some body weight and it really gave. I think I made a crack in it, so I'm gonna have to fix that as time goes on, but I want to show you guys something. I didn't do much other than put body weight on it, and that thing is latched. The only thing I'm missing is the 68. I thought that little latch piece I had was for the 70. I guess it's a 68 just because the way I was looking up a bunch of parts, and that's how it's sitting. This is a 68 headlight support. The 69 just needs a different bracket to attach to this little armature piece here, kind of dark, but there's an armature piece that just relocates where you stick your hand in the hood to like open to pop it initially. But one other thing I'm still kind of messing with is this corner section. It's always been a little goofy. It's the section I laid the car down on. So we got a heck of a gap on that one. This one's not bad. This side looks real good. So some of the parts you get off eBay are quality. Some of them are crap. So just depends on who you're dealing with. What we're gonna do next, and real quick, if you guys can see that, or if it's too dark, we're gonna throw that steering column in. I want that steering column up in there, on there, because at the end, I'll show you here in a little more depth. Whoever had the car, it had that stupid Dodge box that everyone hates to take apart. They just cut it. So I have to go inch diameter down to 3/4. So I'm still trying to figure out a spacer or something, get a lathe, get it machined down, get it to fit. And hopefully it passes whatever inspection this car has to get to have a title, because this car does have to have an inspection. But I want that column in, and I want to get the steering going, so we're going to come right back. I'm going to get everything I need to stick that in, which would include bolts, chase all the threads for anything on the firewall, because I'm chasing threads on everything for this car. I don't want to end up with another issue like I did with the hood, where we went to put it together. I stuck a bolt in, we broke it, and that took us about 16 hours worth of work to fix it and correct it. So I will bring you guys back when we figure something out. Let's get back to work.
Hi guys, we figured out our next project. So we're going to be mounting the front bumper brackets that go in the frame rail. One thing we did do though, so these are originals because you can see I tried to drill through. This side was the one that was in the dirt, so driver's side, and these bolts were just seized. They were not coming out, but what we did is we made some pieces here. As you can see, they drop in to the old bolts the way they go. So all we're going to do is put 1/2 inch bolt through. We're going to tighten the nut all the way down, and then we're going to weld the nut just like this one. We're going to weld the nut on this whole piece. Then when we're done with that, we're going to flip them over, and we are going to put some weld through epoxy primer on this edge after we acetone and wash it. And then from there, we're going to weld them to the frame rail of the car. So you guys stay tuned. I'm going to get a little inventive on these, just because I don't want them to, I guess, rust again, but I also don't want them to break free. So we're going to weld the living everything out of them. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to get to work. We're going to put you in a fast forward for welding the nut on the back and then welding it to the car. So let's get to it. Hey guys, well, we got the bumper brackets welded in. Got the steering wheel bolted in. Got some measurements for the little shaft we need. Got our hubs in. We did not get the car on the ground, but we're gonna go buy some tires here within the next hopefully 30 minutes and we'll solve that. So hope you guys stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We're gonna end it for this video on this couple weekends, and we'll get back to work on the next one. Have a good one, guys.